That's gonna leave a mark, Taylor.
That's on the scooter because I'm on the scooter. And we're live. What's going on, everybody? It's the Mixed Tag Show with Jenna and Blue. Have some friends in the building tonight. We have Drizzy. We have Phil.
What's up?
Yo.
Yo.
How everybody feeling?
Good.
I'm good.
I'm watching
Very
this
weird
next
day.
game, so but I'm watching this next game, so that's where my focus is at.
Like, I'm trying to watch this game.
It's 3-1, right?
Yeah.
You see that collective? Yeah.
All right, so we're here to talk about wrestling.
Wrestling. We're talking about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about wrestling. It's a big day in wrestling.
Exactly.
Block out the score. So today we're gathered here because, of course, we're going to talk about the recent releases from WWE. I know that everybody's like shocked. Nobody's seen this coming, really. I don't know if you guys saw this coming. I didn't. So seeing this news early this morning. So for those that don't know, I believe it was 6 releases, right?
I think 6 and counting.
I hear there's more. I hear there's more coming. I believe it's 6. Yeah.
So right now we have Aleister Black, Ruby Riott. Oh, we got Jeff in the building. Hold up. Jeff.
Hey.
Let me catch him real quick during this halftime.
You see what I'm repping, right?
We got him real quick.
Hey, hold on. I see Phil in the building. I see the dreads. The dreads is popping, so I already know what the pop is. Hold on, Phil. Let me make sure my joint is, you know what I'm saying, presentable. You know, I can't wear my bonnet. Monique said I can't wear my bonnet, so let me fix my shit up.
Monique gotta stop hating, man. Come on. Out there, man.
Oh, I see Monique said it was a wrap for the bonnet, so we can't do that in public.
She ain't say do-rags, though. She ain't say do-rags.
Hey, do-rags all summer.
For real. So we're talking about the WWE releases. I think it was like 6. It was Ruby Riott, Lana, Braun Strowman, Santana Garrett, Aleister Black. Am I missing anybody? So it's 5.
Buddy Murphy.
I'm just like Stepton says, I was completely shocked with this list in general because most of these people are in the middle of storylines. So how did this work out for you guys?
Like, it threw me all the way off. Like, these dudes have all been on TV within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
right.
Especially Aleister. Like, he just came back, and
he just came back.
Like, they're doing all these like expensive looking vignettes. I'm like, okay,
right.
So
that's like getting your work laptop after orientation. Them saying, well,
right.
It's not gonna work out.
It's like, you just sent it to me. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
That was good.
And I felt like on SmackDown,
this whole rollout.
I felt like on SmackDown with the women tag team title thing, I felt like Ruby and Liv was getting ready to get into a program on SmackDown in regards to the tag title. So that threw me off as well.
Yeah, you know what would be great, Jenna? It would be dope if the women's tag title could be defended on all 3 brands. That way, you know, since NXT has so many women, they could probably alleviate that. They could probably alleviate that problem, you know?
What they originally planned on doing. Hold on, I feel like I'm echoing. Is it just me?
Yeah,
you are.
Speakers a little bit too loud.
Okay.
But yeah, like just like to Jeff's point, just like they used to do with all 3 brands, which why when they bought the NXT tag team titles, everybody was puzzled because now, to Jenna's point, there's only 2 tag teams left in the entire division, which is Dana and Mandy, and then Natalya and Tamina. There's no other tag teams remaining.
They literally
That's
just
it?
took out 2 of them today.
Yeah, that's it. So now you're about to put Naomi with Liv and make that a tag team?
They better not.
Nah.
They better not.
Please don't.
At this point,
Well,
Naomi
technically,
needs
Nia
to
and
be on
Shayna.
her own. No, I think
Who?
that's done. Nia
Yeah, I think
and
that's-
Shayna. I think that's on its way of being done. I feel like they're about either they're gonna feud or Shayna and Alexa are gonna feud. I don't know
Yeah,
what they were doing with that
Shayna's
storyline.
feuding with the doll. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, unless they
it's-
put Sasha with Alexa, like they've been trying to tease.
They better not.
Nobody wants
They,
Don't do that.
No,
they better not. No.
Nah.
I got a
But
crazy idea. Let the Way go and win the tag titles in the WWE tag titles, or whoever's from NXT, and let them do their own like gold rush. And if you want the women's tag titles, find a team, make a team, and come to NXT. And
That's
you're
a good-
only defending it on TakeOver. So you
That's
got
a good-
once every 3 months.
That's a good idea, but as we know, with creative in WWE, they just can't think that creative. Like the irony, they're creative, but they don't come up with creative ideas. I think that's actually a good idea, but you know, we're not going to see anything in regards to the women's. I feel like by the end of the year, we're not going to have women tag titles.
And plus, that would require WWE to recognize NXT as an actual third brand. They treat them like the redheaded stepchild.
They sure do.
Yeah,
that is true. So the reason that is cut, so the reason for these releases is apparently for cuts, as you know, they're saying Braun Strowman is saving them $1.1 million a year and so on and so forth. Because Aleister Black also spoke earlier today and said it was basically budget cuts. Yeah. So what is the budget cuts for? Like, what do you guys think this is set up? I think it's setting up for a sell.
For who? Oh, for a
For
sell.
a sell.
See, the reason why, and this is right before you were getting ready to tell me this via text message. I said, hold on, wait, let's discuss this live. I don't agree with that because I feel like Vince McMahon is a control freak, and we've known that for years. I don't see that man until, you know, I hate to say it, until he passes, is not giving up WWE. I'm not saying that can't happen. I just don't see Vince McMahon. You see how the way he is in regards to storylines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You have a writing team. They write out a script. He doesn't like it. What is he doing? With 5 minutes to the show, he's changing the script, right? I just don't see this man willingly giving up ownership of WWE until, you know, knock on wood or whatever, he passes. And then I can see maybe Triple H and Stephanie and whoever the higher ups realize, you know what, this might be best to give it to NBC or whomever would be, you know, in play for that. But I don't see that right now. I think it is, my opinion, they're about to go on, do the live shows thing again, right? So that's traveling, you know, stage production and all this jazz and whatnot. That's what I think the budget cuts are for, even though they've been hella profitable the past couple of years, even during the pandemic. But that's neither here nor there.
Looks like you agree, Jeff. You agree with that?
I'm just wondering what price would y'all sell y'all family?
Well,
that's when I put it in that perspective, because I don't think anyone is wrong to say this smells like I'm in the gym with my business trimming some fat so that I have the 6-pack and I'm ready for sale. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like right. I can see that, but that man has defied all forms. Yo, Vince McMahon transcends entertainment. Like he's the dude that had Bob Costas reacting on camera because he turned it into a shoot. Like this dude just does business differently. This is the same guy who sold some parts of his stock just to invest in a side hustle called the XFL. Yeah. And then when he was good with that, after a year, yo, you could have it, Rock. You rock with that. I'm a go back into my business. He's willing to do that with every other business. What was the name of the social media site that they used to do? It was not Cameo. It's
Tout.
Thank you. Yeah. I couldn't remember that for like a year, yo. Tout, right? Where's Tout? Where the hell is Tout? Tout came and went, right? Every other business, he knows when to fold them. But WWE, he's actually making a profit. He's making a problem. Like it's not.
During
Not
a
in
pandemic.
critical, right? They're not in that. They're not in a position where you have to sell, right? Because you think about it, there's a couple of reasons why these guys usually sell, or these business owners sell, right? I don't want to deal with the business anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm ready to cash out and take my leave and retire, right? Or we're not making money like that, and somebody sees an opportunity where low-key I don't. But if you want to spend all this money, then cool. Or you just want to divest out of one area of a business because you need to focus on whatever your core business is. WWE is his core business.
It's his core business.
He doesn't have, and you know, he probably is one of those people who has like silent partner investments somewhere. But I would put any amount of money that at least 90% or more of his wealth is in WWE. So if he sells, it's going to be for like FU money, where no one would blame him for walking away. But I don't think any of the streaming services, save NBC, or I should say companies save NBC, really would consider buying WWE right now, because every other streaming service for the most part is pretty good with what they have. You know, and I think if real talk, if you want to build up WWE for a sale, that's 2-3 years down the line. So everything that's happening now, I don't think it's that much of a foresight. I think they were like, yo, where can we get cuts? We gotta make tough decisions. And unfortunately, dudes had the wrong salary, the right salary at the wrong time. I saw it happen with the crash, the Great Recession. Right. Where people who were balling or had a good salary, when it was time to cut all them people, I know you're a great talent, but you gotta go. Bottom line, and then all the corporate talk. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I'd be really surprised if something happened imminently.
And going to that point real quick, exactly about the family business thing. I think when you say family business, I think of, like, for example, the Steinburners. The Yankees are that's not going to ever leave the Steinbrenner family, right? There's just different companies and businesses that just aren't ever going to leave that. It's the family business. And again, if he did consider selling it, I still believe he would be a majority owner. He would have to sell like a really, really small percentage in WWE. And going to the point, another point that Jeff said was, I don't think this would be the time to sell, because you're not showing any other company such as NBC or ESPN or even Fox that, you know what, more eyes are going to be brought to my company if we purchase WWE. Because look, this past week, Raw was 1.1 million viewers, right? So nothing tells me, if I'm a owner of another business or whatever, I want to buy WWE, why should I buy it? I mean, I get it, it's a profitable business in that sense, but in regards to like bringing more fans and viewership to my company, or just like, you know what I mean? It doesn't, it's not appealing. And for me, in regards to a business owner, and again, this is a company that's not struggling, as Jeff also mentioned. I remember last year when they had the cuts and people were up in arms, they were talking about their cash reserves. It's something like $500 million.
Yeah, that was like record numbers, wasn't it?
During a pandemic. Yeah. So it's like go ahead.
I'm sorry. First of all, I know we're about to lose Jeff because the game is coming back on. I know Jeff about to do his live technical.
Yo, you know what? I'm about to stay with y'all. Because this is
the NBA is becoming so soft.
They had like a little altercation. Everybody talking at the end of the half. They called a tech on Noel because he bumped into when they were walking off. Yeah. Like, all right, man, y'all want the hook? All right, fine. Like, ooh, that's
don't get me started with like LeBron and how soft he, like, I just.
I'm getting my money worth.
I just want to know who put juju on my man Julius Randle. Like, you know, I don't know what Haitian he pissed off, what Jamaican he pissed off. Somebody has a doll, or somebody prayed to their ancestors, because that man do not want to shoot. He's seen 5 rims out there.
And it's like, what's
Yeah.
the Monstars came and like sucked dudes
They
like
took his talents. They just
they took his talents away.
Bro, it's different.
Every other minute he's passing up an opportunity to shoot an open three, and it's just like, what we doing?
like, come on, bro.
Oh, they call offensive foul? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yo, this is going back to this.
What's the next topic, Blue? What's the next topic, bro?
Yo, so this is the reason why the reason why I said that they get ready for themselves because they've been talks about how they put Triple H and Steph on the board with Khan and the the owner of the Atlantic. Was it the Atlantic Hawks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They still in it. The owner of the Atlantic Hawks is on the board for WWE now. Shout out to Wrestling World. He's in the chat. And I feel like this is like that's why a lot of people are saying maybe it's ready for
H.
ourselves.
Waters was good, yo.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, Vince still holds 51% of the stock. So I don't think like he's gonna, even if he sells, he's gonna lose that much. Like he has shares,
He's
still
still
make
in
money
control.
regardless. So I think that's what's part of the deal. So that's what I thought about. I don't know if everybody else. I really think it's a setup for a sell.
I don't know if I believe that quite yet, but I know people are taking that from that article that came out like 4 years ago that was saying that he might want to sell, and this has all the makings of a sell. Like when you're trying to get stuff off your books, you're trying to raise the appraisal and everything. It has all the looks of it, but I'm not sure if I believe that quite yet. I can understand why some people see it that way, but I don't know if I believe that quite yet.
Right.
And why wasn't this talk happening when they let all them people go before, or the year before, or the year before? You know what I'm saying?
Earlier this year, after WrestleMania,
maybe the caliber of people, but
the caliber of
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think
this has been probably the most.
It's a mixture of the caliber of people they're letting go in the back office as well, because they're doing some like merging, like with like like inside office people, more TV people being involved. So that's why I think people are looking at it now like, all right, it's too many people than they usually do. Like it's like too much removed from WrestleMania. Like we're still doing cuts 2 months after WrestleMania.
This is the second round of cuts too, because remember they already let some people go.
Yeah, and I think it's too. They're clearly changing their broadcast style too, like making it closer to like sports analysts and bringing in guys like Smith and bringing in my man on SmackDown. So I mean, I get it.
McAfee,
At least they are on SmackDown and NXT. I don't know what the hell they doing on Raw.
Right. So I mean, I get it. I do think they're changing the tone of the company a lot, and like I said, I can see it. It smells like a sell, but I don't know if that necessarily means it's a sell.
I don't see it. It's Vince McMahon. This is his baby, And again, a complete control freak. I don't see it. I don't. The man is still like, I don't see it. At least not now. I just don't see it. I just see this as a family business. Even when, again, God forbid, knock on wood, when he passes, I just feel that this is still going to be a family business. I think a lot of things will be done differently under new ownership in regards to like Triple H or Stephanie or Shane or whomever. But I still think it's a family business.
I think it kind of has outgrown family business, to be honest with you. Once they got out of territory ages and they made it into this massive conglomerate that has like
the moment it became the moment it became a publicly traded company, it went out the window.
It's not a family business anymore, in my opinion. I feel like it's too big for that. Because I feel like, God forbid, knock on wood, if he goes today, it's not going to get split up like that if it doesn't get sold. Because it's not going to be just like sole McMahon ownership, because it's a publicly traded company. And that's why I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I believe either one. Maybe if the Germans come offer, Mr. Burns enough, he'll sell. I don't know.
What if it's New Japan though? They've been talking to Japan a lot. My boy G brought that up.
That kind of money, man. New
Japan don't got bread like that.
I
don't know. They did go buy a whole women's promotion just to keep WWE from that.
Yeah, but that's the subsidiary. That's like Bushy Road.
But what if it's a combo deal for somebody else?
Like a 3-team trade,
right? Like a three-way buy.
I feel like whoever's gonna buy, I feel like it's gonna be like a television stadium. Like I don't think it's gonna be like. I feel like if it's anybody, it's gonna be like Universal, NBC, or some huge conglomerate
along those lines.
Dark horse could be Discovery. Unscripted networking. And I mean, yeah, there's the AEW deal, but that's just for network. Doesn't mean that the NBC or the Fox deal would end for airing.
Yeah.
That them guys been making a lot of moves lately, so I keep my eye on that.
Discovery making sneaky moves.
That's word. That's a good point right there. So to keep us moving, because I know that we try to get back to this game, especially us on the East Coast. What do you see some of these wrestlers going?
Continue to lose. I'm sorry.
Don't put that in the universe.
Right, don't do that.
They gonna come back.
They won the game.
Buddy Murphy. Terrell sees Ruby and Buddy Murphy heading into Impact, Lana joining Miro and AEW. How do you see these wrestlers landing right now?
I can see Braun and I guess Alistair or Tommy N is what he changed his name is. I can see them on
already. What did you change it to? I'm sorry.
2 seconds it said Tommy N. Like literally after it was announced.
That's
his old indie name. Yeah, it went back to Tommy N. Just like that.
Okay.
AEW needs to go get Braun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with there though, because I feel like they're very work rate. He's not work rate guy. I feel like
he's not, but he's something different than what they have, than everything that they do have. So he brings something that they need because they don't have a lot of big guys either.
So he's gonna eat all the pins Lance Archer been eating.
Lance catching strays. Wow.
No, I'm just saying. I've seen that man fight for the TNT title way too many times and catch too many L's. I seen him in New Japan. He's not supposed to be catching L's like that.
He's not.
Not like that. Not like that.
He's still suffering from that Cody sickness.
But does he have that same popularity? Let's keep it 100. At one point, Braun had a popularity, he was very popular amongst the fans. So I don't think he would have the same fate as Lance over here. Yeah, so I can see him dominating in AEW. That's just he just has that. I'm not a big Braun fan. I never have been, but I can see him doing well in that atmosphere.
Yeah. I don't think he'll do bad anywhere. I think he would fit on Impact. I don't know. But
I just think a guy who's making $1 million a year is not going to end up on Impact. I could be wrong. I just don't see him on Impact.
Maybe. I don't know. But I think at this point, Braun's got to be the most shocking release because he was just in a world championship match, a month ago.
Yeah. And his contract, look how much he makes. He's one of the top paid superstars, or was. So that would tell me you view him as a top superstar if you're making 6-7 figures.
Yeah.
His last match was good too. It was good.
He was the bright spot of that triple threat match.
Yeah. They was turning up.
And I was surprised.
They done turn this guy as bad as they could with all these gimmicky finishes and flip this over and tagging with the train and they did it over and over again. I feel like they just hurt his character so much that nobody really believed in him anymore.
I think he should have won in Saudi Arabia. When the title was vacant, that was the time to put the title on him.
Yeah.
And that showed they didn't believe in him when they didn't put the title on him then.
Yeah. But I definitely see him going to AEW. I definitely think that AEW should not hesitate on Ruby Riott if you want to build up your women's division. I know people are saying Impact as well, but the way their partnership is working, Ruby Riott is going to be an asset to both of those companies regardless.
Heidi Love.
I feel like I feel like they really dropped the ball with her. She should have been.
Oh, for sure.
Dope when his singles run. Dope when his tag team runs. It's just literally you destroyed the women's tag team division throughout the entire year.
Listen, Blue, anybody that listens to this show, we're both a huge advocate of women's wrestling, and it's as it is. I mentioned this on Twitter every week, specifically, for example, SmackDown. It's the same storylines dominating. I love Roman. I love the Usos, but you can't tell me 30, 40 minutes is dedicated to Roman, the Usos, Cesaro, Seth Rollins, and then we'll get maybe a tag team match and then a backstage segment with Roman, Jey Uso, another match here and there, another backstage segment, then another match here, the 9 o'clock slot for the women, like Sasha, Bailey, and Bianca, and then the main event, the same thing. At what point do you put other talent, not even just your women, but other talent? Anybody. I love, like, you know, and I'm an advocate for Roman. I've always been a fan, regardless of the gimmick. But you gotta give us something else. It can't be the same thing. And then you look at Raw, the main event, like the third hour was only 1.1. Drew and Kofi, and then just for Drew to win again, and we're doing Hell in a Cell, Bobby and Drew again. Like, there's so much time that you can allocate to different superstars. Heidi is one of the better women wrestlers out there, and she didn't get that. And I feel bad for Liv. I truly thought like there was more coming, and I guess there is more coming, but I truly thought like we were going to hear Liv's name today, because I don't, as much as I like Liv, I don't see this being like, when we get
down to right now. Yeah, like right about now, when you look at like all the women's roster, she's probably the lowest on the totem pole. So it wouldn't surprise me to see her go.
Liv fits their like stereotypical women's wrestler. Like, she has the look they like, and that's why I think she'll be there. Like, it's easier to let go Ruby because Ruby doesn't fit their standards of what they want women to look like. And I think that's the bigger problem here.
It's the blonde. It's the blonde.
I agree with that, but she fits that prototypical, I guess, like you said, what they're looking for. But she's also not a blonde, if I'm making sense. Like, she doesn't come off that way. Like Dana and Mandy, they specifically, like, those are blondes, right? And Lana, right? But something about Liv, a lot of people resonated with her. Like, I know I did. Like, it just felt like, and I typically resonate with women of color, right? But it's something about her that's different and relatable, right? So I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but I feel like it's just something different. So I do agree in the sense that probably saved her, but I don't think it saved her in the sense of she's about to come out in SmackDown this week and like start a program with Bianca. You know what I mean?
No, for sure not.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, she managed to get a blue tongue over. That's how I know Liv can resonate. Like, she can get over, but they just have to give her something to do. But I mean, that's 80-90% of their roster.
I'll tell you what needs to happen. The first hour of Raw needs to be an all-women show.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it.
They should.
And everybody I've said it to just been like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Like, I know it's not gonna happen, but there's too much good women in WWE. Like, that's the best roster in WWE is the women's roster, and they don't to use the same 8 women all week. Just take that out, that first hour, and make that a women's block. Make the Raw women's title like their world title, the SmackDown title, their IC title, keep the tag titles, and just do like a full.
Yeah, right, man.
But I do, I'm not this crazy, but you know, like we've seen, they have not lost faith, but it hasn't been that great for the women's division.
Which is stupid because, again, you know, being an advocate for women's wrestling, and I see when they break down the numbers and like in regards to viewership and rating, and I see, okay, well, viewership goes up for women's segments. I always say this as a business owner: if I see people are gravitating to something, then I feel like, well, you know what, this works. Let's keep going with this. But you continue to go with this agenda, and it's mind-boggling. It's baffling to me. You know, I agree. I think that to start off Raw, I think you'd get a lot of people that would tune in to watch women. You know, a lot of people have, you know, toxic masculinity that might not agree with that, but I think a good majority of wrestling fans that appreciate women's wrestling would tune in for that.
I also think that it'll also take some of the pressure off of Raw to try and fill 3 hours at a time.
Well, yeah. My pitch would be to bring back the Mae Young Classic, kind of like they did the Cruiserweight Classic, and then change 205 Live to Evolution and just make it an all-women show and make that a network exclusive.
I agree.
I would love it, but what somebody told me was 205 comes on at 11 on Fridays.
I don't even know anymore.
I think it always comes on after SmackDown.
I don't think anybody
Still going
even follow that
SmackDown
anymore.
after SmackDown. I thought
That's like a dead spot. And it's like, and I don't want them down there. I don't want like the best wrestling on WWE to be at 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
So then, why not have it on a Thursday? They have nothing going on Thursday.
I mean, you could change the time slot.
That would actually be a good idea, like a good little block. Go ahead and have NXT UK, Evolution right after that.
It could happen. But speaking of 205 Live, another person that they released, and I wonder what's going to land. I think he would do very well. I hate to say AEW because everybody's looking like AEW can't give everybody. But Buddy Murphy fits the entire roster, and I think he would really shine with those wrestlers and fit their styles.
I can see him on Impact too. Honestly,
I think he's the one that like the door opens up the most for, because I can see him in Impact, I can see him in MLW, I can see him go over to New Japan. Like he really fits a lot of those all these companies.
Do you think that he'll team back up with Blake though, and bring that tag team together again? I know they enjoy it.
I would like it. I don't think so.
No. Maybe down the line, like a one night thing type of reunion. But he's established himself really well as a solo wrestler. I don't see him going into a tag team at this point in his career.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely the best like in-ring guy that they release. Like he has a potential. His ceiling's like up here somewhere. Like, he's
a fantastic.
I wouldn't go back to tag if I was him. I would try to bust out as a singles.
How did this tour get like? Okay.
She turned around. She turned around. Don't look at it.
Any final thoughts on these WWE releases? I know that there's potentially more coming. I know there's like this everybody holding their breath. But is there any other comments about these recent releases? Unfortunately, I mean they released like 11 women in the past 45 days. I think I saw. That's just crazy to me.
I said, and I said this right after WrestleMania when there was those original cuts. It sucks, but I think we get into this mindset like, shit, that's it, right? We see time and time again, the door is always open when it comes to WWE. Even when there's bad blood, like years later.
Black showed that today.
And exactly, right? And that's why I like when wrestlers kind of like say, thank you so much to WWE, Vince McMahon, this and that and the third, because it didn't burn the bridges, right? So there's always room to come back. And I can honestly see someone like Braun coming back, but they may negotiate his a smaller contract, and not what he was getting before. A lot of these wrestlers can build up their stock in other places, and then in the indies or whatever the case might be, and WWE always comes back. You see, look at Drew McMahon.
That was his gimmick.
Yeah.
The chosen one.
The chosen one. Drew McIntyre is a prime example of it just not working out the first time around. Honing in on your skills and betting on yourself and building yourself up and coming back and like killing shit. So it sucks. It's unfortunate, and I really wish the best for all these wrestlers, except for Shorty's name, Santana. Anyway,
Santana
yeah. Who's wilding with anyway. I wish the best for everybody.
That's the one that posted the video and it retracted. No,
she was doing MAGA, blue light.
Yeah, the one that posted that and they try to blame it on a friend. That's
I got hacked.
Yeah.
Right. Like my friend sent me this and I posted out looking like what?
You have multiple accounts.
Like
right.
Outside of that, I wish
I was her. I forgot all about that. I forgot it was her.
Outside of that, I wish the best for all of them, but I don't think
and Drake
I don't think
he could.
Yeah. Which is crazy because there's still so many people that are shit people that are still employed. It's just like, what?
Riker? What is Riker still doing? Get him out of here.
Damn, they're 50% of NXT UK. Like
Austin Theory. Like it's just is mind-boggling. But outside of that, I don't think the door is closed on a lot of people, and I can see some people coming back, even with the talent that was cut previously early this year. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I'd say, I hear a lot of talk in the wrestling Twitter cesspool about supporting people and hoarding talent and all that. Don't boo, watch. Right. Don't boo, buy. Yeah. Don't boo, support. Because it'd be the same people that be on Twitter and just talk, but don't back it up with action. Like my guy Phil watches everything. Phil watches everything. So you can't tell Phil shit.
He got to be going back in time.
He watched shit I don't even know exist yet. He watched it from the future. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in another
Minion this weekend too, right? The Minions this weekend, right?
Yeah, like the 5th or something.
It's the 7th, I think, right?
Oh, copy. Yeah, I'm not staying up until 3.
That's Monday. Yeah, no, that's Monday.
I always catch.
Next day. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta go to bed early.
Phil gonna be up though. Phil gonna be up. Phil gonna be up watching it.
You gotta take that nap. Take that nap at 10. Wake up at 3, and you good to go.
Right.
Going to that point, like don't boo, watch this and that and the third. Everybody someone made a point on Twitter, and I liked it. We're all up in arms in regards to, for example, Ruby Riott or Heidi, right?
Right.
Well, where were you guys watching when they were putting her stuff on YouTube, like from Main Event or whatever the case might be? And because at least if the viewership is up in regards to views of on YouTube, then that gives probably WWE like, oh, okay, well maybe we have something with her. But if you guys just tweeting and saying this, that, and third, but you're not actually supporting them and buying their merch and this and that and third, it's telling the company, in other words, like, all right, they're expendable. I can whatever.
Yeah.
That's true and false, because if that's true, then my man Kofi should have won on Monday, because New Day is constantly at the top of the merch sales.
Yes, but Kofi didn't lose his job either. It's like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Kofi's going to be featured regardless. You know what I mean? In that,
they're made men though. They're also made men too, because it's like Kofi. That's like the curse of being too excellent. They don't need anything but themselves. They're the Adam Cole promo. Where it's like, you want to make them feel special, just hit their music. Don't even ring the bell. Just hit their music and put a mic in their hand, and that's it. So but I agree with Phil 100%. I don't mean that he shouldn't have won, in my opinion. But
he should have won.
They're like they've hit that like all-time category where, barring something wild, you will never see them on a release list. Barring something wild, like it has to be wild.
They've been pretty wild. He didn't still.
With Braun, like that caught me off guard. That's why I'm like, yo, this has to be more than just budget, because like someone must have been talking crazy backstage, and Phil, Bitch was like, what? And then that's the only thing that I can think of was that's a wild release.
It also happens though, y'all. Like in every business, it happens. Like I don't know anybody who hasn't had like their business go through budget cuts for the last 3 or 4 years, where it's like every January or every August, a bunch of people are let go. Great people let go. And you're like, how the hell could this happen? And I think it's a little naive to expect WWE to be above that. Like I remember all the tweets, y'all just sold for $1 billion. Okay, what's your budget look like? What does your own budget look like? There's probably a bunch of stuff that you splurge on that you're not supposed to. And there's probably places where you could spend and save, where if you cut it, people are like, oh, damn, you don't watch Netflix no more? That's crazy. But that's $10 more that you have to put somewhere else, right? It's business. It's not a family. It's not a family. It's business. And great people get let go. A lot of great people got let go from WWE, but it happens. And then you know what happens when you say everybody goes to AEW? Jungle Boy hits the release.
Thinking his family over there.
Darby Allin hits the release wire, or they're on Dark or Elevation or one of these joints, building up the brand.
Who was it that just said the reason why he didn't go to WWE because
Cap
AEW? It was Anthony Ogogo. I was like, come on, son, you can't.
He's good friends with DDP. The only reason he's there is because he's cool with everybody over there. Like that's why he made that decision.
And he probably should have been there before WWE.
he made that decision, but he also said WWE offered him more money, and the fact that AEW is a family and he trusts Cody's vision. I'm like, but you just lost to Cody, so like,
Mommy,
you know. Listen, I'm gonna go back. I just don't want it. I just don't want.
He lost to the son of a plumber.
Yeah, but
no,
no corporation's a family. Like no corporation.
Yeah, I hate that mindset from fanboys and fangirls thinking like, oh well, AEW is family. They would never do that to their employees.
Awesome Kong didn't get re-signed. Somebody else didn't get re-signed either.
Shana, yeah.
Shana was wilding though. So Shana can't get about it. Shana was wilding with some of those quotes about Muslims. So,
yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, Awesome Kong didn't get re-signed either. She was gone for a minute and then it was like, we tired of paying you. Peace. Like it happens. It happens everywhere.
It's business. Yeah.
No, but yeah, life
happens to great people.
No, that's why I was like, Brian needed to relax a year ago. I'm like, it's some people that's in a bad situation and you kind of kicking them while they're down. Like, you got to relax. Yeah. And then here we are a year later.
You in the same predicament. Exactly.
Not to mention, they basically have a farm system teaming with capable wrestlers. NXT UK, they still have the deal with Evolve. Like there's a lot of people that's waiting to be next. So I think for every brawn, like Adam Cole and them still ain't get called up.
I was thinking about that.
And they got their shine because and think about that one time they was there for the Invasion angle. They turned that shit up and they went back to NXT because everybody knew them. That's like the ace in the hole that they have. They still have main event WrestleMania level talent that are just bolstering NXT. Yeah. Because they're not quite ready to move them over, but they're also not all the way ready for them to go. But if they all went, NXT would still be all right. Yeah. So at some point, the faves that you love, they got to make room for them. It's fucked up, but it's business, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good way to for everybody. That's a good way to let it go. It's all business, and at the end of the day, great people gotta let it go, and we just got to support them wherever they go next. We just got to support them wherever they go next.
Might be WWE. Who knows?
Right. They might just come back with a re-sign.
Right.
Yeah. Come back. Maybe he get paid $400,000 this time instead of 1.1 mil. You never know. But thank you guys for joining us on this quick, live. I know Jenna started this morning. It was like, we gotta do this live on Twitch because this is something major. And I know we all had things to talk about. We're heading into the fourth quarter for the Knicks. Got to pray on them.
Lord carry them now.
Right. Please open the basket wider than usual.
I was like trying to
that's a Springwood jersey. I ain't seen a Springwood jersey in years.
Well, you know what I like?
Champion, like this is when I was like 8-9 years old.
I like that they're fighting, yo. I like that they're fighting. It's like if you're gonna lose, but you don't get hold on your home court.
Right.
Like if they gotta turn up and then go do hookah afterwards and Atlanta for game 6, we could do that. Right. That's all I ask. I don't even want to win the series. Just not on your home court.
Especially the way Trey has been talking mad trash.
I love it. It's the playoffs.
Air Capella.
I mean, look on the bright side. We beat the Celtics.
And honestly, we have a bright future. So
very bright. We could be the Celtics.
Right. Take the positive.
Storing all them draft picks in your attic for what?
I feel you, Jeff, but y'all don't have nobody like Tatum on y'all team. Like let's be honest. Y'all ain't got to Tatum on y'all team.
This is what confidence looks like, bro. You got to build it up first. Like we haven't even seen competence. You gotta understand. This has been we're seeing function for the first time. So now it's just you got to build up. Like they got to build up like that. It's just how it is. You build up and then you wait.
Emmanuel quickly, he surprised that was a sleeper pick because the way he's been balling this whole season, I can see a lot in his future. I don't know if he's Tatum, but his floater's nasty. You know, there's a lot to be happy about. Okay,
100%. I love this season.
Definitely.
You just
overachieved this year. We definitely overachieved.
You know how it is. You just gotta wait and build the foundation, and then when somebody pissed, when the superstars pissed and want to leave, come to New York.
That's it. We need.
Listen, I will drive. I will walk to Portland right now and bring Dame Lillard back.
I'm about to say that. I mean, you did 50
on my back. On my back. On my back. Just honor me when I'm gone.
55 points still lost. Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us, and follow everybody on Twitter. You see their names. There's some amazing people in this panel right now. There's some, like, I know Jeff about to go off on his Twitter during this last quarter of the night.
I'm cool because we shall rise again. That's what it is. We in the Phoenix. We shall rise again. We shall rise again. We shall rise again. You know.
Ooh.
Definitely. All right, guys. Peace.
Later.
Peace, y'all.